Hey guys, it's Brittany. So in homeopathy, and in particular in school, I had it drilled into me that palliation was bad, it was temporary, it was not going to fix anything, and my question had always been that I could never quite find a satisfactory answer to until I found this one passage that I will share with you. My question had always been, but then why does Advil get rid of my headache? Because Advil is palliation, and yet my headache would go away after I took Advil, and it wouldn't come back as soon as the Advil wore off. It's not like it was just like, only lasted the 4 hours that Advil supposedly works. So, I found the answer in Opium. And the introduction to Opium in Hahnemann's Materia Medica Pura, he has a very long and very interesting introduction where he goes over a lot of talk about primary and secondary and palliation, that kind of thing. Because with Opium, that's quite important, the idea of this primary secondary action. And in it, he has this passage that I will share with you. So opium and its primary effects will remove pain and remove cough, remove vomiting, remove diarrhea. Okay, so that was often what it was prescribed for in the olden days and in today, outside of homeopathy. So, if in some few cases opium removes cough, diarrhea, vomiting, sleeplessness, trembling, and so forth, this only happens when these ailments are of a recent date or have arisen suddenly in a previously healthy body and when they are of a slight character. Thus, for example, a cough brought on by a chill, a trembling caused by a recent fright, etc., 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 are sometimes quickly removed by opium because it is only necessary that it should suppress these ailments in a superficial and temporary manner. Okay? He then says to read aphorism 63 in the 4th edition of the Organon, which is aphorism 67 in the 5th and 6th edition, and it has this footnote that talks about you should only use antipathic treatment in an emergency, an acute poisoning, struck by lightning, like that kind of thing. And the idea in those cases is that it's not a dynamic disturbance, but sort of like a acute mechanical problem, like in the case of being struck by lightning. Like you don't have like this dynamic disease sitting inside of you. You were struck by lightning, and you have to get the body through that acute emergency, and you can do that with antipathic treatment. Now, back to the temporary removal of pain. The idea is that this was always temporary. So antipathic treatment will look like it works perfectly because it removes your pain and it doesn't come back after it wears off, but it's because the condition was always temporary. It was not this long-standing chronic thing. It wasn't even acute in the sense that we think of like a cold as an acute, right? Like if you take cold medicine, it will usually only last as long as it says it's going to last, like 6 hours or 4 hours or whatever, and then it comes back because your cold is a little bit more long-standing than a headache that might last 12 hours. Short-term Advil could remove your headache because it was temporary and a small affliction to begin with. Okay, that's basically the point. All right, till next time, bye.